In the freezing winter of New York, shards of ice floated through the air, and amid that cold silence walked a man shattered by the biggest betrayal of his life. His name was Arman Shaikh, a Pakistani-American engineer whose dream, his company, and even his identity were stolen by his closest friend, Ethan. Arman had created something extraordinary, a system called Neuropulse AI, a technology that could translate human emotions into digital code. But when success arrived, greed followed. In a boardroom full of fake smiles, Ethan locked him out of his own creation and said coldly, "In business, there are no friends, Arman." That day, not just his access, but his soul, was denied. In a small Brooklyn apartment, with half a bottle of whiskey and a shattered screen glowing in the dark, Arman reread old emails, every word reopening a wound. And in the midst of that silence, he whispered to himself, "I'll take revenge, but not their way." From that night, he turned his mind into his weapon. He began working under a new name, GhostRoot, an invisible hacker who existed only between codes and firewalls. Ethan's company soon began winning government contracts, unaware that inside their own servers, an old ghost had awakened. Arman slipped in a tiny line of code, a bug that began to manipulate their AI models. Within weeks, journalists and experts began questioning the system's integrity. Reading the headlines, Arman smiled for the first time in years. "Game's on, Ethan," he murmured. Then came Maya Patel, a fearless journalist chasing the truth. She connected with GhostRoot, not knowing he was Arman. Their encrypted conversations slowly turned personal, two broken souls finding warmth in the dark. But Arman's fire hadn't dimmed. It had just become quieter. On the night Ethan was to announce a billion-dollar government deal at the Hilton Ballroom, Arman and Maya sat inside a surveillance van across the street. The screens glowed. Code streamed across like poetry of vengeance. At exactly 9 p.m., Ethan walked onto the stage, cameras flashing, reporters cheering. But as he began the demo, the main display flickered, and a single message appeared. "Neuropulse has been compromised." The crowd gasped. Then came an image, a photo from their college days, both of them smiling. Under it, words burned across the screen. "Trust, once broken, can never be rebuilt." Ethan froze as panic spread across the ballroom. In seconds, every hidden fraud, every offshore account, every tax evasion file began uploading directly to the FBI's public portal. The lights flickered, chaos erupted, and Arman closed his laptop softly. "Game over," he said. 2 days later, New York's streets lay under a blanket of snow. Arman stood by the bridge overlooking the frozen river, Maya beside him. She asked quietly, "What do you feel now?" He took a deep breath, watching his words turn to mist in the cold air. "Not peace," he said, "just silence. Revenge is done, but happiness didn't come." Maya took his hand. "Maybe it's time for a new chapter." Arman smiled faintly, pulled out his old ID card, and threw it into the snow. The icy wind swirled around them, carrying the last traces of his past away, as if time itself was closing its wounds. 6 months later, in San Francisco, a new AI startup launched, Phoenix Dynamics, led by none other than Arman Shaikh. During the press conference, a reporter asked, "Sir, why the name Phoenix?" Arman looked directly into the camera, a calm fire in his eyes. "Because some stories don't end in the ashes," he said. "They begin from them." Flashlights burst. The screen froze on his smile. A new story had begun, one where revenge didn't destroy the man, it rebirthed him,